Page 42. Ray Higdon's take, quantity versus quality. The question as to which is more important, the quantity of presentations you make versus the quality of those presentations, is of great fascination to me. Let's touch on quality first. For most of you, until maybe 10 years ago, I was terrified of getting up in front of any size group and speaking. Now I have been blessed to have spoken in front of 15,000 people. What's interesting is how many people comment on what a natural speaker I am, which is kind of funny. They didn't see all the sleepless nights I spent terrified of the speech I had to give the next day. Ultimately, the only way I was able to get comfortable and look natural in front of an audience was to regularly speak in front of an audience. It wasn't from the time spent prepping for it. When my wife and I ended up being the top income earners in our network marketing company, we did a lot of presentations. Some of them were pretty good, but a lot of them weren't all that fantastic, and that was okay. We got where we wanted to be doing a lot of presentations. So I can tell you firsthand, the quantity of presentations you do is without a doubt more important than quality, especially in a network marketing space. The problem with a lot of people in network marketing is that they feel they must be perfect and hone their presentation prior to actually doing it. That's one of the biggest problems in network marketing and the entrepreneurial space. How people suffer from the disease of perfectionism. People want to perfect the script or the follow-up before going out there and presenting it to the world. Chasing perfect quality can be very, very dangerous when it comes to being an entrepreneur or a network marketer. Here's what's interesting though. If you walk into an appliance store, the salesperson goal is to sell you a fridge, right? But in network marketing, we're not selling our product or an opportunity. We're selling others on our own ability to replicate what we're doing. We're convincing them they have what it takes to build a business, and that's unique. For example, I once recruited a guy who was earning $1 million a year as a professional speaker. The dude was super polished. We had our first home meeting and he came out in a suit and was super smooth. I can tell you it was an amazing presentation, but no one joined. Why? Because no one thought they could be as good as him. In his perfection, what he actually did was make everyone feel they could never replicate what he was doing at the front of the room. When it comes to network marketing, I think perfect presentations can be detrimental to your goal. Perfection can be a bad thing, which is kind of unique in this profession. Ironically, some of my very worst presentations have brought in some of my best people. As the saying goes, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person or the right thing to the wrong person. In a lot of ways, I found that to be true. The only thing I don't like about that saying is that it kind of indicates that you shouldn't even try to become a better speaker, which of course you should. You should consistently try to improve yourself, but that never happens by practicing in a room by yourself. Spending 100 hours in a room by yourself trying to develop the perfect presentation, it's a waste of time. Network marketing is a fairly unique in that you can absolutely earn while you learn. And the chances of your first presentation being great are so slim and so unlikely. No matter how many hours you prepare, you're better off just getting up and getting it over with. Just go do it. The insurance sales story. Years ago, there was an insurance company in Chicago that called in a consultant to analyze why their profits were declining. The company was averaging only 2.5 sales per agent per month, and they were at their wits' end. When the consultant arrived, he immediately put his finger on the problem. He told the company, "Your only problem is that your salespeople are not seeing enough prospects." Well, this solution was way too simple for the top executives at the company. After all, they had paid this consultant some big money, and they wanted him to discover a big problem. So when they complained, the consultant said, "Fine, I'll prove it to you." The consultant took a group of the company's salesperson, a cross-section of the sales force from best to worst, and told them where to start selling policies door to door in neighborhoods where they didn't know a soul. There would be no leads provided to them. There were no qualifying of prospects. They were to knock on doors, and when the homeowner answered, they must start the sales presentation by saying, "You don't want to buy insurance, do you?" Their mission was to see how many people they could repeat that message to every day. That was it. Needless to say, the salespeople were a bit skeptical, but the results spoke volumes. 59 out of every 60 homeowners they approached said, "You're right, I don't want to buy insurance and get lost." But 1 out of every 60 said, "As a matter of fact, I do need insurance. Come on in." On the surface, 1 out of 60 doesn't seem like a very good closing ratio, and it wouldn't be if it took 2 weeks to eliminate 59 that didn't want insurance. But this isn't a story about closing ratios. It's a story about speed. The key to the program's success was the speed at which the salespersons disqualified and eliminated prospects who did not want or need their product, the non-buyers, to get to the 1 out of 60 that did. It's a story about removing dirt to find gold, and to do it quickly and cheaply enough to make a profit.